We're here today with Isabelle Zimmerman, who has become one of my favorite people. I just love her. She's so great. So she is an Ascension teacher, which I'll let her explain what that is because I understand it, but it's not complicated, but it's got words. And I'll let her use her words to describe what that means. So Isabelle, tell the world who you are.
Hi, everyone. My name is Isabelle Zimmerman, and I am a full-time Ascension teacher. And what does that mean? Well, an Ascension teacher, we focus on awakening. That means we are awakening you to connect with your higher self and your soul, and awakening you to understand that you are way more than the image in the mirror. That means, you need to understand you are a multidimensional being, and how we do that is we go into your soul field. And what does that mean? Well, that means I use hypnosis to access different parts of you in other incarnations or other lives so that you understand and feel and see and hear and know who you are. Because when you see those other lives, and you understand the pattern. So your fears in this life were not created in this life. It was created in other lives. And so when we go into that field, so I might be called a soul healer, when we go into your field and we heal what occurred in the other lives, you start to feel different in this life.
Yes. Yes. Yes, I can attest you do feel different in this life. And things that used to be really bumpy roads aren't bumpy roads anymore, and things that used to be like really overwhelming aren't overwhelming anymore. And fear and things that I had like fear and resistance about, even I'm not even like halfway with you. And like what used to be fearful and made me feel all resisty, I no longer have that fear and resistance. Like that has dropped off.
Yeah, and what's really remarkable seeing your progress in the work that we do together is just your confidence with your non-physical team. And
Mm.
even though you hear the human fears, I'm feeling energetically how you're moving into your confidence in your mission.
I want to say two things to that. One is I used to not be able to find shit. I would like lose stuff all the time and I would be desperate to hear from my team. I'd be like, "Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?" And I wouldn't hear, and then I would hear something and I would go look in that space and it wasn't right. Well, last night I couldn't find my earbuds and I'm like, "Where the heck are my earbuds?" And that, so I in my natural like started to go to a jacket I haven't worn in a while. And I heard them say, "It's not in that jacket, it's in the bathroom." And I was like, "Oh, they're in the bathroom." And so then I went off to the bathroom and they were right there in the bathroom. And so I was like, "Ooh, I like heard you."
Yes, yes. It's funny. A lot of people want to do, I call it magic or your connection to your divine self. And, a lot of people want that. They want to hear. They're afraid. They want to hear, but they're resisting to hear, right?
Yes.
It's this push and pull
It's
part.
like two magnets who are trying to have a conversation and you have to just relax and let them flip around again.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly it. And it
Mhm.
takes practice, right? So when Kim's doing this work with me, she's going deep into her soul field, and it's it's glorious because she's starting to see her patterns,
Oh, yeah.
not only the pattern in this life, but now she can see like, oh my gosh, I had a life with that same pattern. And then I say, this pattern is not for you. This pattern was really needed so that you can overcome this pattern, so that you can grow from this pattern and accept more love and light. And it's very counterintuitive that
Mhm.
the growth would be out of love.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels sort of like I messed up, but I didn't mess up, right?
You
You
did.
don't mess up. There are no mess ups. It's all just like learning experience until eventually you get it. But by working with you, I'm like getting it instead of like drinking. It's sort of like drinking from a fire hose in a way, but in a good way. Like, now some people are like, I'm drinking from a fire hose and it's bad because there's too much information. But with you, it's more like accelerated getting it in a good way, like the Concorde jet versus like a little prop plane with two propellers, right? Like
Yes. Yes, you're having a beautiful experience, but you're moving very fast.
moving very fast.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm having a beautiful experience, but I'm moving very fast. And I have seen some stuff with you that was like super painful, and I had a day or two where I had to like get my land legs back, where I was like, I don't know where I am. Like, I don't. I'm like, I'm in my body, but I'm not in my body. I'm like, I'm having experience, but I'm not having experience. I'm like, I'm not in samadhi. Now, samadhi is like peace land, right? It's like, it's why you do yoga. It's that total zen state that everybody tries to get to when you're doing meditation. It's what Esther Hicks calls the vortex and what Joe Dispenza calls the field. It's the no space, like sleep zone, where you're like half in your body, half out of your body. What happened with you is not that space. It's a
No.
completely different space. I had never felt that space before. It was like
Yeah.
I was half in, half out of my body, and there was like reconfiguring that was happening. It was like uncomfortable in a way. Samadhi is like, it's like yummy cake, although I don't eat cake anymore. But it's like,
Yeah.
it's the idea of what yummy cake would be if I ate cake, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
samadhi. Samadhi's like a warm pool for me. It's like a spa, like a hot, warm stone massage is samadhi. It's just like, oh, yeah. That was not the space with you. The space with you
No.
was mildly uncomfortable and like I wasn't in my body.
Yes. Right. And so when she called me, and she'll have several of these, by the way. So when spirit says you are a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly, there
Mhm.
is a part of you when we start to clear energy, when we start to heal that energy or unravel it, right? Or transform that energy, she was in an in between place. Her
Yeah.
energy was not off, and I always said, or not aligned. So I said, you do nothing on the bridge. I call it the bridge, or I call it the void. You are
Mhm.
not fully formed because you are transforming. You are in the space of transformation energetically, because what I did was deep work. And so you need allow this time. It's going to feel awkward. It's going to feel uncomfortable. You don't know who you are. You're on the bridge. You're not the old. You're not the new. And when you're on the bridge, you make no decisions. You
Mhm.
make no decisions. And I said, oh, and she's like, well, how long will this last? And I said, I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's a phase.
Yeah.
It's not forever. And I
No.
think it lasted a couple of days for you,
24
maybe
hours.
24 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, by the
But that's,
next night I had landed back in my body and I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
okay, I feel like myself again."
yeah. And you're a different version. We've shifted your vibration and patterns within you. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
feel
yeah,
more grounded. I mean, I've always loved grounding. I always loved being grounded. I have the history of an anxiety disorder, and so like I know what that feels like, and I know what grounded feels like. I much prefer grounded than anxiety disorder.
yeah.
And so I feel much more in my body. Like my body and I are more of a team.
Yeah, because once look, it's not like Isabelle Zimmerman knew this. Like, I have been trained for 7 years with spirit guides on the work that I do. But when you change a pattern, when you receive the gift of the lesson and you heal it through forgiveness and love, it changes the geometric shape within you. And and so that code. So this is a little technical, guys, but I'm just telling you what spirits told me, and I can see it. But her code, her blueprint changed because she shifted up.
Mm.
So that pattern will always be there, but it's not activated because we received the gift from it. So she's going to feel different because we just, how can we say this that you guys might understand? Hmm. There is always, okay. There was many analogies, but we opened up a different room within her soul.
Mm.
And the room that she was in that was lit up and activated, it just, it's still there, but it's not activated within her because she walked into another part of the house. It's still there, but she's in another room. And so she's seeing more, she's feeling more. And it's okay if that geometric pattern is still within her, but it's no longer vibrating within her because it doesn't need to be active within her. I hope you guys understand that. Good luck. Understanding soul work, I don't know. Like there's just a lot going on. There's codes, there's blueprints, there's soul agreements, you know, just whatever.
So, however it works, I'm super appreciative because I feel
Yeah.
like I'm being handed a giant gift. As from working with you, and we like I said, we're not even halfway done. Um, I feel like I now have like vision and purpose and direction. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I know where I'm headed, and I've even started that with the Saturday afternoon Zoom room meetings, right, where I give
Yeah,
people intuitive readings. And you have a course out, don't you?
I do. So one of the things, thank you, Kim. I really appreciate that. So if you're watching this, one, if you haven't booked her event on Saturdays to get a reading, I think that's very fascinating that you have not. It's free.
Right now.
What are you resisting?
Mm.
Now, there is nothing to be fearful of because all the messages are loving.
Hmm.
So, what you're saying to me, if you have not booked it, is that you are afraid of love. I understand. But there is no need to be afraid of love, and you are worthy of love. Okay?
Hmm.
Now, I understand this paradigm. I am a human having a human experience. Now, the second thing is this little tiny course. There's a free meditation, and then eventually I will share with you with the tiny course. But if you wanted to go right to the tiny course, which most humans on this planet need to take because it is a very important foundational step.
Hmm.
Now, this tiny course, I say you raise your vibration in a giant leap. You may be triggered
Hmm.
because I am a firm teacher. I try to be as gentle as I can, but if you're coming to learn how to swim, you will learn how to swim.
Hmm.
That means you will get in the water. So if you thought you were going to learn how to swim without getting in the water, you're not ready.
Hmm.
But if you want to learn how to swim because you see other kids having fun at the pool, then you will learn how to swim. And if that means we put our feet first and we dangle in the water with our feet and you have your swimmies and you're not comfortable yet to go to your waist, well, that's okay. But eventually your head will go underneath the water because you will be learning how to swim.
Hmm.
Now, the tiny course, it is a jump because you are getting in the water. You're not being submerged. No, no, no. No, no, no. But you're getting comfortable being in the water.
Hmm.
And you must learn how to recognize emotions feeling it in your body and your thoughts. And I'm going to teach you how to soften your judgment. And I'm going to teach you why that is important. And I'm going to kind of really shock you into the why. Okay. So
I found it
if
to
you're,
be comfortable and simple, but I'm based on my work with you, I'm not normal.
well, no, well, you're a spiritual teacher. You're a spiritual teacher. So a spiritual teacher has more courage and bravery. Now, all of you here are awakening on this planet. There is a grand ascension going on. There is an awakening going on, and you are being called to awaken. And this course is very important to help you in that awakening journey.
Hmm.
You know, you'll hear that you're going to have to learn how to meditate. Well, a lot of those kids learning how to swim can't meditate yet, right? So I'm not starting off with that step.
Right.
I'm starting off something very practical, but it needs to be done, right? So it's okay. So
It's okay. It's okay. It's
it's
okay.
okay.
It's
It's all
okay. It's
okay.
all okay. A
It's
mantra from
all
the course that has been in my
yeah,
head ever since I've listened to the course. It's okay.
yeah,
And I actually do find that it helps me disattach. That little
yeah,
mantra that you give in the course, it definitely helps me disattach, right? Like I'm struggling with a thing that my emotions are all like big ball of yarn all jumbled up about knotted up and big tangle, and I'm a knitter, so those are a big freaking mess, right? And then I'm just like, it's okay. And I'm like, oh, it's okay. And then the ball of knotted yarn just sort of like falls apart and eventually becomes a ball that I can use to knit with.
yes,
But to start with, I'm not. I'm all tangled up and then it's okay, it's okay, it's all okay, it's all okay helps me just let that go. And then I realize I have something I can work with.
yes, yes. And that's what is important, right? So it's not like Isabel Zimmerman created this course. I did as the human, but spirit, I used it's okay was taught to me by spirit. And so I did that to calm my fear down, to calm who, when I'm in, like you said, a ball, like,
Tangled up,
and
all
I'm like,
tangled up. And
it's
activated and what are all the other words are when you get all heightened,
triggered,
triggered.
manifestation event,
You're
whatever.
having a moment, right? You're having a human moment. You're just
Mhm.
losing your little human mind. I did that yesterday. I lost my little human mind.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. It's
It's
all okay. It's all
okay.
okay.
I know. I as people start taking this course, I think I am going to create a T-shirt. It's
Oh
okay. It's
yeah.
okay. It's okay.
It's
It's all
okay. It's
okay.
okay. It's all okay. Absolutely. I will be one to wear it on the front and the back.
Yeah,
Make sure you make me one with it on the front and the back because I need
yeah,
it everywhere. I need it everywhere that
yeah,
it's okay.
yeah. Little notebooks and everything. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So, Isabelle Zimmerman, do you have a question for Kim Beam?
Um. Okay, spirit guides.
Mm.
Can we discuss? So I'm going to ask a personal question because they would like me to ask a personal question. I'm like, okay. Um, spirit guides. I am hearing that I need to be more bold and
Mm.
that I need to start doing live events and I hear teach, 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 teach. Can you share with me um, as you read my vibration and talk to my higher self? Can we discuss this? Like, what does it look like? What does it feel like? And help me be the teacher that I need to be.
Mm. So there are a number of pieces that are opening for me on this. I mean, there's the easy one. The easy one is just to go live on like Facebook, right? That's a live, right? You just put it out there. Just there you go.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm sensing this is going to sound wacky, but I'm sensing that that may not work as well for you as it would for somebody else. And I'm thinking it's because your vibration will break the algorithm. It Your vibration is just going to be on a different level. And so, I mean, it could work and you can do it and you can see what happens and I think it'll be interesting, but I think it's not going to have the traction that you're thinking it's going to have because the algorithm works in a specific way and you're too soul oriented and your
Mhm.
vibration is here and the algorithm is a I don't want to say it's a dirty algorithm, but it's a dirty algorithm, right?
Mhm.
It's not a
Mhm.
zoomy high vibration algorithm. It's like a how can I make as much money as possible algorithm, and that's not who you are. And so I'm not really sure that that's the platform that's going to like launch you. The thing I did here is something like Omega and Kripalau, and then the mountain retreat. There's a mountain in Colorado. There's a mountain retreat center. I forget what it might just be called Mountain Retreat Center. I'm,
Mhm.
I'm not getting the full name. Um, But they're the kind of places where they center in and they're looking for teachers and they're looking for this kind of stuff, right? And I feel like that's your vibe,
Mhm.
right? Um I also I also just got the word book,
Mhm.
right? Not that the book is going to get you there because I'm going to be honest, everybody has a book. Everybody has a book, right? Where is mine? There it is, right? Like we all have books. We all have books, and it doesn't mean that this is going to be like the thing that's going to make you money, but I use my book as a business card. This is my business card. When people say, "Do you have a business card?" I say, "Yes, here, have a copy of my business card," and I give them a copy of my book. Um, and so it gives what you're doing some credibility, some
Yes.
teeth. It gives it some teeth. I also sense that if you were to start doing an actual live event, like in a bookstore or a metaphysical store, you reached out to some metaphysical stores and said, "Hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. Can I come share with your community?" I feel like those doors would open for you. Um, Especially if there's a book, right? Because then they can use the book to tap in and like turn that into
Yeah.
sales themselves. Um, they're showing me that they're giving me the biblical. They're like I saw what I saw was the candle and then somebody put a basket over it. And so even though you are one who encourages so many people to shine their light very brightly and you are like, yes, please shine your light out and you need to be out there and you're in hiding, I need you to stop hiding, take your light, let it shine, right? Shine your light, right? All of that. They're showing me that you have a habit of not shining your light, that when there are opportunities to go bright, 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 right, you sometimes pull your punch and and
Mm.
don't take every opportunity that's been handed to you. And so
Mm.
they're asking you to stop doing that.
Okay. Okay.
Right? There have been opportunities that you said no to, or you felt weren't a good fit, or you felt weren't for you, or it wasn't the right time. And they're like, could you just say yes, please?
Okay.
Just say yes. And let us deal with the right time, and let us deal with the opportunity, and let us deal with the venues correct. I mean, these are things
Okay.
that we all do, right? I was handed a speaking event recently, and I looked at it and I was like, this isn't me. Like, this just doesn't feel like me. And I know somebody's going to look at me and be like, well, you didn't say yes to that event. And be like, it wasn't my event, right? Why would I say yes to something that's not mine? And so I can see how you'd be like, that wasn't mine. Why would I say yes? But at the same point, they're like, we need you to start saying yes to some things,
Okay. Okay.
right? Like, and I also sense that there's like, I don't want to say expos because expos have a certain like level to them. But I want to say like conferences,
Mhm.
like a
Mhm.
metaphysical conference, not an expo, but a
Mhm.
conference that's like intentionally curated. Oh,
Mhm.
and I think you might be the curator of an intentional conference. And I keep hearing the words in person because so many people are doing them virtually. I feel
Mhm.
like it's just a weekend event
Mhm.
where you pull the teachers together into
Mhm. Mhm.
the place that's hopping in my head doesn't mean it's the place. It doesn't mean it's the place. It's just the thing I'm seeing. Is years and years ago I went to a it was like an expo. So just I'm just going to be honest, it wasn't expo, but it was like a exercise equipment expo, and
Yeah.
it was in New York City, like in time a hotel in Times Square, like in Times Square. It was like a Hilton,
Yeah.
and it had
Yeah.
two floors where everything was set up, and you could go and try out treadmills, and you could go
Yeah.
and there were people who are like, here, have the newfangled water bottles, and like there were people who were like, here's a lanyard, thanks for stopping by, we blah blah blah,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But I'm sensing it's a place like that where the energy is high to begin with, right?
Mhm.
New York City has crazy good,
Mhm.
fantastic, sometimes overwhelming energy, right? And so, in a place like that, where you're like, we're going to put on this metaphysical expo and we're going to bring in, it's not an expo though, it's like a conference. And you're going to have the speakers and they're going to have events. There'll be breakout rooms, workshop
Yeah.
sessions, right? People can book one on ones, but it will
Mhm.
be specifically for the metaphysical in a way
Mhm.
that I really haven't seen them do it because they're not live. A lot of them are doing them virtually, and I feel like your power is going to be you're going to pull your teachers together and it's going
Mhm.
to be a live event.
Yeah. I
And
think so too.
yeah.
Yeah. Feel that. Yeah.
And you still feel not seen, not heard, not noticed, overlooked, right? Even though you know you've done over 1,000 sessions with people, and even though you know that you're growing, and even though the word is getting out and people are finding you in different ways, and you're like, how did this person even find me? And how did I get found over here? Right? You're having those moments, but there's still a part of you that feels unseen, and like your candle is lit but you got a bushel over you and you don't know how to get the basket off, and you're like kicking at the basket, and you're doing all the things like getting on the social media, and you're like, no, not social media, and social media doesn't work for me. And like then you're like, well, how do you get known and how do you get seen in this world where there's when you're not using social media? And so I think, oh, I also got the word email pop through my head.
Mm.
They said to take a page out of my book is what they said. and and just do your emails, right? And I got stumped, and I had somebody, it was actually somebody I was working with, it was a mentor, who said to me, don't think of an email as a marketing experience, think of an email as a community builder, think of it as a chance for them to get to know you and know your stories. And I was like, I used to do that with my emails all the time. Why did I stop? And then, so I started thinking of them as marketing emails, but they're not marketing emails. My emails have like, the little blurb at the bottom, but that's it. And the rest of
Yeah.
my emails are like, I'm going to tell you a story of what happened to me this week.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to tell you a story of like something that's on my mind that I'm struggling with. Like I'm going to bring you into like my current issue in my email because I feel like that's important. My humanity is just as important as my spirituality. And so I share both inside the emails. And I think people need more Isabelle Zimmerman to know who she is, to see who she is,
Mhm.
to experience her love, to experience
Mhm.
her passion, experience. I don't know how you mom the world, but you freaking mom the world, right? Like you just like mom everybody in a way where like even when I'm in session with you, I'm like, oh, she's such a comforting mom. Like she's so sweet and she makes me feel like I'm okay even if I fucked up. Like, right? And so people need that love.
Mhm.
They need
Mhm.
that love and that joy and that Isabelle Zimmerman spirit. Um, But you're traditional, and I would say social media isn't traditional, but now it's traditional, right? That's become the tradition. And I don't see, I see you as, the word I just got in my head was counterculture.
Mm.
And so something that's like culture isn't going to work for you
Mhm.
because you're so counterculture. You always have been. Like, you were the girl
Mhm.
listening to AC/DC when everybody else was like, oh, it's all about Tiffany, right?
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know Tiffany, I just totally dated myself.
I think we're alone
There
now.
it is. That might have been her only song,
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
right? But you were like AC/DC, and the other name that came in was Metallica, right? Like, you were counterculture to begin with.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so I have Queen popped in back here, right? And the
Mhm.
Doors. Like, these are the
Mhm.
things when all the other girls were like pop, you were like black. I'm gonna wear black. All you people are
Yeah.
wearing hot pink. I'm wearing black.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you have to do it how it feels right for Isabelle Zimmerman.
Okay.
But and so maybe that is saying no to some stuff because you're like, that just doesn't resonate, and that's good. That's good. I'm not saying that's not good. Um, but at the same point, you also need to put on your brave pants, right?
Yeah.
Your brave pants, and be like, you know what, this idea of a giant conference with metaphysical trainers and I'm the one putting it on scares me. And I own that fear. I
Mhm.
own that it scares me. But I listened to AC/DC in the 80s. Nothing scares me, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
right? Like, this isn't this is like little f fear versus big F fear, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because big F fear is, if I don't do it, somebody else will, and then I'm going to miss it. And you're not that
Mhm.
person. You're not going to let somebody else take what's yours. You've
Mhm.
seen your assignment and you've said, I'm grabbing it, and it is a wild horse, and I am going to ride those. It sounds dirty. I don't mean this dirty, but I'm going
Mhm.
to ride the wild horse until I tame the horse,
Yeah.
right? And then you'll be like, this horse is boring. I'm going to go find another horse,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
You're like, I'll
Exactly.
give this horse to somebody else. They can go ride this tame horse, and I'm going to go
Yeah.
find myself a wild horse. And so this is your next wild horse. You have been raising up teachers, which was a wild horse when it happened.
Yeah.
And now your next wild horse is, where are those teachers going to go?
Yeah.
And that is where weekend events come in,
Mhm.
because it starts small.
Mhm.
You're doing a fantastic job. I just asked them, is there anything else you want me to tell her? And she's like, tell her she's doing a fantastic job.
Aw, thank you,
That she's
team.
taken the assignment and she's run with it. And now we need her to run in a slightly more inclined path.
Yeah.
And then as you run that inclined path, it'll flatten out, just like the wild horse will get tamed, right? And then they'll
Mhm.
give you another incline, and then you'll go up that
Yeah.
path, right? So we're at the next. You're at the next level. Congratulations, congratulations! You have made it to the next level.
And there's always levels.
There's always levels.
There
There's
is.
always levels, and so the you've got this one down. The one that you're in, you've got it down, and you may still
Mhm.
continue to do it. You may continue to take on individual clients while you're working on the next level. But you will
Mhm.
find that the next level will be so exciting
Mm.
that the previous level will be like, yeah, it was a thing. It was a thing I did for a little while, and now I do this other thing.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I am anybody who's listening to this, grab her while she's still doing what she's doing. If you're a soul teacher, because like, dude, her work is unbelievable. And oh, they you told me this, but they just confirmed it, and that is, there are people who are going to get in line with you and then train with you and then do what you do. So there will be
Yeah.
more who do what you do. And so I feel like the weekend events are finding the people who are supposed to be doing what you do. So like
Yeah.
not only is it an opportunity for all your soul teachers to like come in and like get experience and get seen and give a talk and do their thing and show off and blah blah blah, right? But it's also a chance for you to be like, I want to raise people to do what I do so that there are more people out there who are training people how to clear their soul
Yes.
garbage.
Yeah.
Not that it's garbage, it's not garbage. It's all
Yeah.
fodder, grist for the mill, and chaff and wheat, right? You need both of those things, or else you can't grow a wheat, right? And then
Yeah.
it's all in there as like meaty goodness in the stew, but sometimes you don't want to be eating stew. Sometimes you just want a bowl of rice, right? Like
Yes. Yes.
And so I feel like this will help you find those people that you're going to send out and
Yeah.
learn and train and be ready and be certified by you. Ooh, a certification program for you.
Yeah. Yeah. They need it.
Yeah, because Goddess Isis has taught you how to heal in a way that nobody else is healing right now.
Yeah.
And Goddess Isis and and Jesus, he's like, don't forget me. And you, even though you and I don't talk. He just said we do talk. We do talk. Um, the two of them have put you on a trajectory and a plane, and they have given you information, knowledge, and instruction.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sensing the book may not actually be a book. It may be a manual.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a book, it's a manual. You're supposed to be writing a manual.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of a workbook than a book.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But they're saying you can't they can't do it without the course. You can't
Mm-hmm.
they're not going to be able to complete the manual without the course. Like you have to take the course with the manual. And eventually down the line you will record it and then they can take it and then they can have like, it'll be like a evergreen thing.
Yeah. It'll probably be a hybrid.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be an evergreen thing and because you
Yeah.
can't right, so you need to make sure they can do it and there needs to be practicum and there needs to be a whole bunch of pieces to it, right? But I see it being a manual, a book manual, and not a book.
Yeah.
Thanks for that clarity, guys. All right. Anything else for Kim Beam?
No, that's it.
So they also want you to know that your mama love is beautiful. The love you have for your daughter, the place that you've placed her, the fact that she knows, even if when you have quote other kids come into your life, like I'm one of
Yeah.
your kids, right? Because you're
Yeah.
teaching me how to do the thing, or you're just clearing up the stuff back there.
Yeah.
And you refer to me as one of your kids. Your
Yes.
kid, your actual kid, your biological child. Is there more than one?
Nope. Just one.
One. Okay. Your biological child knows without a doubt that she is your child. And
Yeah.
she knows without any jealousy, fear, where she stands with you. And
Yes.
that has actually propelled, that's the word I've used, is propelled her into her future. That she has
Mm-hmm.
used that mom foundation underneath her to know her strength, to know her wisdom, to know who she is, to be guided and to be seen and loved no matter what the situation, right? She has
Mm-hmm.
never, I mean, there have been times where she has messed up and she has been afraid to come to you, right? Absolutely. But that was her own earthly fear. She has always known there's nothing that she can do that will separate her love from you, your love from
Mm-hmm.
her. And so that has been a really good, strong foundation for her.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I
Yep.
feel it. I know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always good to hear these things again, though.
It is. It's nice to have confirmation. And just so you know, I am writing a manual right now,
Oh, are you?
and it's called The Tiny The Mighty Tiny Awakening Handbook, but it really is a manual.
It's manual.
It is.
Yeah, but they're saying that's not the manual. They're like,
No,
yeah, you
no,
can
no.
write
That's
that.
the first one. That's the first one that uh
Oh,
um
it's those are your
Spirit.
training wheels. That manual, the manual
Those
I'm
are the
writing now,
training wheels.
are your training wheels. That's
Yeah,
not the
those
manual,
are the
but
right.
the one
Those
you're
are
writing is a
the
training.
there's no esoteric teaching in that one. That is what's happening to you when you awaken, because there's not a manual yet.
Hmm.
Just like practical stuff like the void. Like you need to know about when you shift energy and you're in that in between place. You're on the bridge.
You're on the bridge. Yeah, I
And
was.
what does it feel like? Right? You need to
It
know.
it feels like in those books where they get caught in the space where nothing happens,
Yes.
right? Like I hate the movie Wizard of Oz. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But it sort of feels like the poppy field.
Yeah.
Or in the Phantom Toll Booth, there's a space called the doldrums where he just can't move his car. It just won't move. He can't really move his car very well. It's called the doldrums. That's what it sort of feels like.
Yeah.
It just sort of feels like nothing is in sync and everything just feels off.
It just feels off. Or I mean, that's why I call it the void, because it's like there's nothing.
Yeah,
It feels like empty, but not empty sadness, but just like it's flat, and it's like where am I? And so spirit gave me the bridge. And they're
right.
like, you're on the bridge. You see the old world, you see the new world, and you're looking at the water and you're not doing anything. You're just like
Waiting.
waiting.
You're waiting. And then I was really lucky in that life that was so freaking powerful. Um, I got back in my body within 24 hours. I landed back in, and when I did, I was like, "Oh, okay." Like it was like it sort of felt a little like in Men in Black where he
Yeah.
puts on the Edgar suit and he kind of like has to like shift around in it because he's like, I don't know how this doesn't feel right. Like right. I was like, I recognize this outfit. Okay.
Yeah. It's true. It's the weirdest feeling. I agree with you.
All right, Isabelle Zimmerman. Anything else for the good of the cause?
No, no. So I hope everyone enjoyed this. And I meant it. You better book the free event with Kim.
You
I don't
get the
want to hear
reading.
any blah, blah, blah excuses.
She always says that's human talk. Whenever humans are talking, they're blah blah blah. It's all the human
Yeah.
words. I hear your human
Yeah.
words, blah blah blah, blah blah
Yeah.
blah words.
It's
Humans
so
are full of
true.
blah 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 words. They're just like excuses, explanations, stories, blah blah blah.
No. And I tell Kim all the time, I'm like, I do listen to you. I do hear your human words. Um, but I'm not listening. I'm reading you. I'm I'm reading your vibration.
reading the energy, reading the energy. I'm
Yeah.
all for it.
Yeah.
Okay, Isabelle Zimmerman, how do people find you?
So you can find me at Attracting Wisdom, or you can Google my name, Isabelle Zimmerman, or Attracting Wisdom. And I tend to hang out on LinkedIn under Isabelle Zimmerman. But I'm on all social media. But the best way, if you really do want to connect with me, is really go to my website. There's a discovery call that's free. There's a free meditation. Um, I do send out emails, and you can hit reply. I am behind that email.
I am too for now. For now, I'm behind the email. Info at
Right now, I'm behind
kimbeam.com.
the email.
I'm behind
Yes.
the email. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Isabelle Zimmerman, it was so good to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Mm.